So let's learn a little bit more about the strength of the correlation. Again, as described with the numerical value. So correlations vary with respect to their strength. The strength of the correlation between x and y, each of our variables, increases as the points in a scatter plot more closely form an imaginary diagonal line. In this class, I'm not asking you to produce scatter plots for our data. However, that would be a necessary component of ensuring that our values are appropriate for use in this correlational test. Values closer to +1 or closer to -1 indicate I should have written here a stronger relationship. Values closer to 0, on the other hand, indicate a weak relationship, and those that are at, if you calculate a correlation coefficient of 0, then there's 0 correlation. Now let's talk about the direction of correlation. So correlations can also be described with respect to having a positive or negative correlation. A positive correlation means that both variables increase or decrease together. So as an example of this, we would want to consider, let's say, education and life and income, right? What we tend to see in sociology is that as someone's level of education increases, their income increases, and so that means that those variables are increasing at the same time. In a situation where we might describe it's still a positive correlation, but that the variables are decreasing. We might say as someone's stress levels decrease, their levels of anxiety may decrease, and so we might potentially see those two values decrease at the same time. That still represents a positive relationship because it's describing the variables going in the same direction. Okay, so that's what's most important to understand about what we're describing with a positive relationship. The variables are moving in the same direction. They're either increasing together or they are decreasing together. A negative correlation, on the other hand, would describe a situation where as as one variable increases, another variable decreases. So kind of leaning back on this example of talking about education level, what we see statistically speaking is that as someone's level of education increases, the likelihood of them going to jail decreases. And so if we were to pair those two kinds of variables together, we would see that one will increase while the other decreases. And that's what describes a negative correlational relationship. A positive or negative correlation represents a type of straight line relationship.